Hello friends, welcome back to Laravel 11 tutorial. In this video, we are going to discuss about Laravel controller. So we are discussing Laravel 11 step by step in a playlist. I will provide a link of playlist in the description section. Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss about the controller. Okay, so first need to know what is controller. I already discussed about Laravel follows MVC pattern. MVC pattern means model view controller. So let's see this image. Okay. So MVC is model view controller. When a user requests anything, it directly goes to the controller. Okay. And controller is the decider. Okay. So controller will check whether it needs some database related things or not. If needs, then it will directly call to the model, and model responses again to the controller, and then if anything need to response to the user, then controller send the data to the view, and then from the view the response is presented in the end user. Okay, so here you can see we are getting the Laravel control. Actually we are requesting this URL and these are coming. So I requested 127.0.18000. Actually this is the HTTP request, or you can say the request. I requested this URL into the Laravel, and Laravel provides this view to me, so that with the respect of this request we are getting as a response. So you can understand how important controller is. Actually controller is the brain, right? So controller process all the things. It will manage the model, it will manage the view. So you can understand how important is controller. Okay, in Laravel we can create controller very easily. Okay, so we have an option. Directly we can create a controller with some artisan command. Okay, so simple. If you just go to this directory, so here my application is so this is my application directory and this is the application folder. Okay, and to create a controller we write php artisan make controller. So before that I am just giving you one suggestion. So how we can understand the what will be the command, or what is the available command. So you can check all these things from the php artisan list. Okay, so just click on these things and you will get all the things, all the available commands in the artisan. You will get all the things. Okay, so now we are going to create the controller. Okay, so this is actually the help. Please note it down into your copy or any place. Okay, so php artisan list. So using that list we can understand, we can know what are the available commands present in our artisan. Okay, so I want to create a controller. So just go and check. I already go through all the things. That's the reason I can easily found. And as if you are new, then you can check step by step. Okay, so I want to create a controller. So create means something making. Okay, so here inside the make we are getting all the things. So I am just going to use this make controller, create a new controller class. Right, so we will just use this thing after the php artisan. So simply write php artisan make controller. Okay, so and after that we need to write the controller name. So here my controller name is, suppose I am going to create a student controller. So when creating a controller, some things, some protocol needs to follow. So what are the protocols? These are not difficult things. Actually when you create a controller, the first character should be in caps. Okay, and I am just using this student controller, so we can simply write student. Okay, but I am writing the student controller. So why? Actually when you're going to create any application, there may have multiple, or not may have, actually there will have multiple controllers, multiple models, or there are lots of files. Okay, so we need to maintain a proper naming convention so that we can easily find that. So by the name of the file we can understand what may contain in that file. Okay, that's the reason actually we always recommended to properly naming. Okay, another thing, we cannot start controller with a number, means I cannot use 1 2 3 or 7 8 9. Okay, and not allowing any special character in the controller name. Okay, so now I am going to enter this. So php artisan make controller, this is the command, and you can understand how you can get. Okay, and this is the student controller. So when you create any controller, where you will find that, you will find, we already discussed about the directory structure. So inside the app there is http, and this is the controller folder. So inside the controller folder you already have a controller.php, and when you create any controller or when you make any controller, all the controller will store into this controller folder, right? So I just going to enter this, and it will create a class, that is the controller class. Okay, so it's created a controller. Also it's showing the path of the file. Okay, so app http controllers student controller. So if you just go into your project directory, you will find a student controller is created into your controllers directory. So just open that file, and you can see a class file is created. There is a student controller, which I actually use the name when you create a controller, and it's created a class with the same name as a file name. Okay, and also it extends the controller. This is the base controller, and if you check in the controller section, it's actually abstract class. Okay, now we discussed about routes. So when we discuss about routes, we are just simply creating a routes, and we did all the things in the routes folder. Now we will do all the things into the controller. So let's see how we can create, or how we can call controller function. So this is the class file. So you know the oops concept, you should know the oops concept, and if you don't know the oops concept, I have already created a oops playlist so that you can understand the oops concept also. I am saying that things, this is the class file, and inside the class file we can have, inside the class we can have some class properties, class methods. Okay, so I am going to create a class methods, means I will treat, or I will name these as function. So simply write public function, and here my function name, suppose let's say I am going to create a function with the name of index. Okay, now if I just going to print from here, so return hello from controller. Okay, and I want to get this text from the URL, right? So how can I do that? So before we need to call this function, route should know from which file this file is present, this function is present. So this is the namespace. So app http controllers. So simply just register this, use app http controllers, and then write student controller, right? So now web.php, this is our routes, can understand there is a file, that is student controller, which are present in the app http controller. Now we can access this student controller, and by accessing this controller we can access all the functions from this file, right? Now I just going to create a route method. Okay, so here we will directly call the controller. So simple, when we enter in here, just like students, this page should open. So I am creating link. Okay, so simply write students, and the second parameter, here we need to write the controller name, student controller colon class, or you can say this is a scope resolution operator. Okay, So you can say colon colon or scope resolution operator. The proper name is scope resolution operator. And in this array we have another things. So here we need to write the function name, which function we are going to call. So we are going to call the index function. So simply just write index. Okay, now if I just going to hit that URL, you will get hello from controller. So now we can understand how to call controller functions from the routes. So let's say another function. So just going to create another function, public function, and here write list. Okay, and here write hello from list function. So you can understand function. Okay, so you can understand how to call this. So simply I just copy that and here write students. I just going to add in this way student list and just call the function. Okay, so just enter the list here. So hello from list function. So if you don't write that things, it's not a problem actually. Then you can access that things from here. Okay, but here I am using all the students related to link will present student slash then, means prefix will be the students for all the students related things. Okay, so now if you're going to create some another things like gallery or like teachers, like anything, then this URL convention should be used and it will looks great. Means if you check here list, means what list. So if you write here students list, then you can understand these are this URL is responsible for list the student. Okay, so in this way we can create a function. Okay, now if I just going to add some data, or if I going to pass some data, how we can pass. Okay, so let's say I am going to pass some name. Okay, so you already know how to pass the variable. So inside the curly braces we can pass the name, and that name will be getting from here. Okay, so we are passing and we'll take this in argument. Okay, hello from list function, and just write here name is just like PHP concatenation. Okay, so name is $name. So if I just write name in this way, suppose like John, so here you can see hello from list function, name is John. If you write here Harry, so you will get the name as Harry. So we can pass data dynamically from the URL, and it will take from the routes and directly passing to the controller. Okay, so now we can understand how to pass data from URL to controller. Okay, another things, suppose if I not pass that thing, then it's a problem. Actually 404 not found. Why? Actually it's going to accept some data. Actually these are the mandatory parameter. So to make it optional, just make it is question mark, so that this URL became optional. Okay, now I am not passing these things, so that time you will get another error. Okay, so now internal server error, too few arguments to the functions. Actually we are not passing the data, but we are going to accept this data, right? So when we are getting some data in $name variable, no problem, we are just displaying that. But when we not found, then what happened? So make sure if you create any optional parameter, make sure that you are passing some default parameter into your functions parameter. Okay, now if I just write this or refresh this, you are getting hello from list function, name is blank, no problem. And now if I just write here mark, then it's coming, but if you not pass anything, it's not getting. No problem on that. Okay, so now we can understand the flow from a controller. From routes we can get all the things into the controller. So let's say one another things. If I just going to pass data, so we are using the MVC framework, so model view controller. So whatever we are getting, actually we are getting response from the controller. Actually, that is not a good practice. Always, whatever we will receive should get from the views. So we need to create some views. So you know from where we will get the views. So simple, just go into the resource and views, and here just write student list dot blade. We will discuss about the blade templating in our upcoming video. Okay, so just now just use that dot blade dot php. Why blade I will save later. Okay, so student list dot blade dot php, I am going to create these things. Okay, now here write in this way, just inside the body I'm just writing here. Okay, now how to call that? So simple, just write in this way. So I am not returning any things, and I just going to write in this way. So return view, and my view name is student list. So just go here and you can see here. So here is from student list. Okay, so we can load the view, but the thing is, if I want to pass this name, how can I pass this? So just create an array. Simple, just create an array, that is the name, and inside the name we are just passing name. So name is the variable we are getting, and whatever we will use here, we will receive these things from the list or view. Okay, so here I am $name. Okay, so now just write here John. So here I am John, and Mark, here I am Mark. But if you not pass anything, no problem. Here I am actually the name is the default, we are default blank, so here just write no name. Okay, so no name. So if you just pass or you can write anything, this is the default. Here I am no name. Okay, and if you write here John, then it's coming. Okay, no problem. So we can understand how to create a controller, how to get a route parameter to the controller, and how to access that things, and how to create a blade view, and how to pass the value to the view. Okay, so I want to see another things, means in this way, right? So if you just go into the views, there are lots of folder present, right? So now if I just going to create in like routes, means for student, all the student URL is there. So I am just going to create for students, all the student file will be there. So simply just create a folder, write students, and I just going to move that into the students folder. Okay, so let's move this, and you will get the student list.blade.php. Now if you just going to refresh, the view will not present. Okay, so it will throw the error. So student list not found. Actually the student list, when you're going to use the return view, that means it directly searching the view should present in the view folder, but we are using the student list inside the students folder. That's the reason we need to use in this way, students dot student list. Okay, now refresh this, it should work. Great, right? Another thing, we are passing data using the array. Now if I just going to pass this data in another way, simply you can use the compact function, compact, compact, and just pass the name. Okay, so we have a $name variable, that's the reason we are passing the name. Okay, and this will be working in here. Okay, so now just refresh this, these are same working. Okay, so here write Mark, still it will work. So we can pass in two ways. Simply we can create an array, or simply we can use the variable in compact. So if you want to pass another things, suppose just like age, suppose if you write 30, then how we gonna pass that? So simply just add a comma and age, and here you can write in this way. Here I am name and my age is $H. Okay, so simply uh, here I mark and my age is 30. Great. So this is the all about controller, and how can I create controller, and how the data is passing from route to controller, from controller to view, and how to pass the data, and how to create an optional parameter, how to pass that, and lots of things we learn about. So in this video, if you still have any queries about anything, you can directly comment me, and I will try to reply you very soon. Okay, and please stay with me and subscribe this channel for upcoming videos. So next we are going to discuss about view in detail. Okay, so let's hope you will come and see this. Okay, so please share this video with your friends so that they can also help, and also help me. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.